We are back. NFL Week 14 kicking off with a double Costanza dip, and I raise you a triple Costanza cash on a Thursday night. Packers, Lions. If you follow me on Moneyline Monaco, Instagram, Twitter, Alex Monaco, or my Action Network picks, I'm Alex Monaco under there profile-wise. We have picks live, tweeting, dancing, clicking buttons, cashing tickets. We opened with the Lions double result, win the half, win the game. Lions go down, go up, score twice, 10-0 start, nibbled at a couple of times really throughout the game. You had the option of Packers plus 6.5. Little Packers plus 6.5. And next thing you know, Lions are plus money, getting plus 2.5. All jokes aside, we go on the Lions side. We're now essentially locked in. Packers plus 6.5, depending where you shop. Lions plus 2.5. Game has to land within there. Lions win by 3. About a boom, about a ching. We move forward. Week 14, riveting slate, playoff implications, seeding on the line, narratives all over. Let's dive right in and kick it off. Live lines brought to you where you shop. I typically am leaning on FanDuel quite a bit when I shout these lines out. When I lock them in, they're on Action Network already linked for you to really tailor fade, pending what you like. When we dance, you can tell if I'm emotional or not on these picks. Let's kick it off. We're going to go AFC North, Browns plus 6.5 at the Steelers to kick off the program. And it ain't the most glamorous one, so we will be brief. This is an AFC North number I'm not only comfortable with. Recline the chair. Give me the side pop. I'm going to crack one, kick back, watch an AFC North number that you just have to take. This doesn't matter if it's Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. This 6.5 number off a time where they just danced and the Browns outright won is 3.5 home dogs. Yes, could be walking right into it with Pittsburgh saying they're going to bounce back, win the game, and in convincing fashion. You got to look ahead 3-week slate of Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City. If there's ever such a thing as a look ahead spot, it would be in this moment. But here's the reality. Jameis Winston and this Browns offense is no thing to joke about. The number one under Jameis Winston weekly starts in yards and points. It's hard to even comprehend. They go over 500 yards against Denver, who was otherwise a top 5 defense in yards against and points against on the season. So he lights up Denver on primetime. Pick sixes aside, you got to ride with them. You got to lose with them. This is a Pittsburgh team 5 weeks in a row, 1-score outcomes. 2-3 in games where they give up 20 plus. I just mentioned to you the decorated offense to some degree that this Browns team is under Jameis. I believe in the power of positive thought. 11-year meditation lad over here. How you doing? It's just, to me, a divisional game 2 times in 3 weeks, which we have on the program 2 times on this show, where they're both off 500 yards of offense in absolute shootouts. And if you come back down to earth and you put it into perspective, this Steelers team is going to come down off of going against Cincy, who is anemic on the defensive side. Otherwise, pick a category, any category. This team in Cleveland isn't, if you're looking at on the season, what they can be on defense. Now, it's not a great Browns D compared to last year, which was a better Jets pass D. Number one to them in that category. They're nowhere near that this year. This is more about backing a Browns offense that's free-flowing. I typically tried to pick games this week that were important and had playoff implications. You saw it Thursday night when Jameis was doing snow angels with the Thursday night crew. This is important. This is valued. This is coached up football. And this is the perfect time, to me, off of a game where they felt like they left food on the table. I mean, 2 pick sixes in the last 3 minutes against Denver in primetime to lose the game. It was a live pick 'em before the pick six. Jameis giveth, Jameis taketh away. I digress. We're back in a number in a divisional dance. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Arrowhead and let's talk another divisional dance. I feel otherwise comfortable and cozy as well, taking the Chargers with the 4. I mean, am I out of my mind to feel like 3 elements here from a betting perspective we all have on our side? Number 1, Kansas City against the division this year at home, coupled, which would be the 1 and the 1A, as a home favorite on the season, ain't a favorable spot. 19-17 versus the Raiders, 16-14 game-winning field goal block against Denver. So 2 games of 2 outcomes by 2 points, and 2 of the last 3 wins are by 2, 3, and 2. And your 2 and 4 ATS is a home favorite with 2 covers for every 1 for the Chargers. Going back to September, let's call it what it is. They're up 10-0 at SoFi on the Chiefs before they looked up and realized they were up on the champs. Got in their psychological noggin. Football's a funny game. I digress. No J.K. Dobbins. Let me sell you on a used car lot for something you don't think you need. A Rutgers running back in December. Ask Pacheco on the other side. Who came before him? Gus Boss Edwards. Do we dare say another Big Ten December outing by coached up Harbaugh, getting the boys in situational spots? I can't get out of my head Brady saying recently that how Belichick used to organize weeks was here's how the offense is going to be that week's opponent's defense. Here's how our defense is going to attack that week's offense, and same thing on special teams. This is what good coaching teams do. And we're getting 4 points here when Mahomes on the third betting trend I was going to make as laying 3.5 is historically not someone you want to back. So a team that hasn't lost as a 4-point dog this season, the Chargers, who are 8-4 ATS, who started the year up on the Chiefs, who, yes, you can make the case are playing and taking care of opponents, Saints, these mediocre teams that this Chargers team has played, they've picked off. And then they go against great competition in the Horror Bowl and they lose. But I took the Ravens. So feel me when I do bet emotionally on this team I'm in recovering with, the San Diego Chargers, when I tell you that Mahomes in division is just not a cozy purchase. It's just not. You want to be on the dog with the points. I'm going to take in a chippy top 2 of the top 5 defenses in the NFL. If this was blind resume and you long-term bet on 2 top 5 defenses and you got 4 points in that matchup and you faded that, I'd like to think you're on the losing side. Give me the bolt up Chargers. Let's keep it pushing and head to Arizona and pack no sweatshirts because it's scalding hot, Jerry. We're going right in 2 times in 3 weeks again on the program. We're going to go correct with this one, though. We did it 2 weeks ago. Absolutely loved it. Told you Seattle over Arizona. Seattle's getting 2.5. If you have the samurai patience, you might get 3. And you can line shop, and there might be 3s out there. You can always get alternate points. This is just a 1 and 2 ATS team as a favorite, Arizona. Not used to being in the Arizona getting point spot. Biggest thing you got to look at, 2 elements in this game. I think basketball momentum is prevalent in this. 2 times in 3 weeks, it's similar to the Browns. I'm going to take the team that just won. You normally can make a betting argument that you go the other way. You sell high, buy low off the divisional loss. I think the AFC North is 1 of 1 on the Brown side of things. I think the Seahawks shutting out the Jets in the second half, getting 12.5 points and over 6-1 the money line live down a half. Broadway intermish at MetLife. Pacific Northwest team, East Coast, 1 o'clock, start time, everything working against them. Down at half, battle back, showing up on D. Last 3 weeks, averaging under 90 yards per game defensively. Giving up 140 the first 9 weeks of the season. Mikey McDonald's club finally showing up what they paid him to do by way of Baltimore. Secondarily, I got questions you don't have Jake from State Farm Insurance answers about at the State Farm Arena on Sunday. The last 2 weeks post Call of Duty, shout out my guy Padilla from Kaplan and Crew for the observation. Post Call of Duty, new update, new game, whatever. I'm an adult, I'm not playing. Is 1 for 8 inside the 20. Kyler Murray maybe thinking about the live stream after. Just kidding. They were the best red zone offense before the back-to-back week L's. You saw them have problems in the red zone against Flores' D. There's going to be great game tape for Mikey McDonald to capitalize on. And again, 16-6 chess match. You got to go back years plural the last time the Cardinals beat the Seahawks. That doesn't matter. Of course it matters. This is also for the division likely. Seattle's got a shot up a game to 2x their lead in the West with the Bills in a very good spot, which we'll talk about in a minute, against the Rams, with the Niners, which we'll also talk about in a minute, going against Chicago, who just fired their coach all fired up. I'm telling you, boys and girls, this is a game I feel has a similar outcome to 2 weeks ago. I'm going to take Geno Smith, who plays the Cardinals great, and the Seahawks, who are on one heck of a go look it up win streak against the Cardinals, have their number. They capitalize on it at State Farm. I'll take a free, drink while I'm here for some insurance. Sign off on a Seahawks dub. +3 if you can find it. Let's talk the games I just teased. This is a Niners team. I went back and forth because typically you want to come back off of a California team, and this is how you got to look at it. Going to Green Bay, brutal in the cold. Going to a blizzard in Buffalo, brutal. I mean, I got to own what I got to own. I don't know what I was thinking. Now I'm coming back to California and I'm going to fade San Francisco. I think the McCaffrey news, Trent Williams going through one of the worst tragedies you possibly could. Our hearts go out to him. This Niners team is derailed with injuries. They are in a spot here getting outscored 73-20 in the last 2 weeks, where I just think you're catching the Bears at a bad time. You know about the number and covering. It happens every year too many times where a team fires their head coach, Eberflus, Mr. Clock Management, and you get an uptick the following week. This Thomas Brown dude, to my guy Sean's credit, sounds Tomlin-esque. Sounds buttoned up, sounds like he's got direction, and he's got Caleb, who hasn't had an interception in 6 weeks of football, off of 3 L's by 7 combined points in the last 3 weeks. You lose to all 3 teams in the division, Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, by 7 points combined. That's 3 L's, but that's 3 covers. This line opened in Vegas was 6.5. It's down to 3.5. Vegas rarely lays a bad line. You can make a case they messed up on that. If you're on Bears +6.5, you are hibernating in that purchase. Purdy has as many touchdowns in the last 8 quarters as you and me on the mic. 0. Debo hasn't broken 25 receiving yards in 3 games. Hasn't scored in 6. Caleb goes against Minnesota and Detroit. Aaron Glenn and Brian Flores as D's. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions off the firing of the coach. They felt they had the Thanksgiving game. If you caught the pod late last week or follow my picks, we went 2-1 on Thanksgiving, and the Bears was one of our wins. This team has no McCaffrey and no Mason. Banged up Kittle. Where's Debo at? 3rd string running back. We'll see if Trent's playing. Don't expect him to do anything but take care of him right now. And Bosa hasn't practiced all week again. Purdy is Rajon Rondo on the Celtics without Pierce, Allen, and maybe Garnett only out there on Sunday. Versus a number 3 turnover differential Bears team, +10 in that category. I got to take the points, babes. And wrapping it up with the Bills on the road, and I won't make this mistake again, this time backing Josh Allen. Feels as good as back in the Lions these days, folks. I don't worry about the Captain Dustin Hoffman hook. 3.5. Give me Buffalo on the road. Historically, Josh Allen is a 57% road favorite cover. 3-0 in this spot as a road favorite this year. Just 2-2 for the Rams at home if you want the betting trend covering as a home dog. But We have, to me, a selling high off of Stafford just as much as we're rocking and rolling with the Mafia on this one. Rams beat New Orleans and the Patriots, and we're starting to feel like some of their wins are making us look at the painting differently. I understand Stafford hasn't turned the ball over in the last 3 weeks. Who's the number one turnover differential team in the NFL? I hate to keep going back to it, but it's Buffalo at plus 17. I mean, Josh Allen, if he just takes care of the football, goes against a bottom 5 Rams D. They give up almost 150 a game. Cook's got almost 250 in the last 3. The guys on the Bills' run scheme are humming and scorching and cooking in the Cranston lab. I got Steinfelded last week, and I ain't going to do it again. It's Josh Allen's year. It's the year of Tim the Tool Man. He just got engaged. Congratulations, mazel to him. And I'm over here watching him do snow angels with McDermott while I'm picking up snow shovels for extra money because I faded him, and we won't do it. Bills at Detroit next week is when we can reassess selling high off of them. Them in LA, where you have a bottom 5 run D and Stafford hasn't made a mistake in 3 weeks. This is a team that could collapse in the pocket on Stafford, and he gets old real quick. Back the man in the ring in his physical prime. Lay the 3.5 and rock with me. We wrap the program. Bills minus 3.5. Bears plus 3.5. Jameis and the boys plus 6.5 at Pittsburgh. Give me the Browns with the number. Seattle Seahawks plus 2.5, plus 3 if you got the timing and the patience to get plus 3. And give me the San Diego Superchargers plus 4 at Arrowhead. Pack your parkas. Don't forget to hug your mothers. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review. Goes a long way. At Moneyline Monaco, at Alex Monaco on Twitter. Action Network, picks, track, locked and loaded. We are at least going 3-2. Don't forget to hug your mothers. Ta-ta, real smooth. Happy birthday to my youngest brother, Ben.